Hi everyone, this is video number 7 in the MFL Platinum app tutorial videos. Today I'm going to go over the draft menu. This video will be crucial to the upcoming rookie draft and is by far the easiest way to make your picks once we kick off. The alternative is doing it from the MFL website, but I think the app is just a lot easier. Start by pressing draft from the main menu. You'll see this pretty cool overlay open up showing a host of information about your draft. The top left corner has a timer showing how much time is left for the current draft pick to be made. Looking at this will tell you how much time you have left or another owner has left to make their selection. Ours currently says not started right now since we haven't begun the draft, but that will change once it kicks off. To the right of that you'll see current pick, which shows you which draft pick the league is currently on. Further to the right shows you how many more picks there are until you're on the clock. Going down a row into the left, the percentage shows how far into the draft the league is. As picks are made, this percentage will increase. The next box to the right shows how many draft picks you personally have left. Finally, the second row far right box shows which team owner is currently on the clock to make a pick. You can click the team name listed here and it will open up that team's roster, and you can also filter out that roster with the top right option as well, and select a different team if you want to look at a different team. Going back to the draft room, the third row has 4 icons. The first is the chat bubbles one. Clicking on this opens up the league chat room, which we previously saw in the 4th video of this series. Here you can send a message to the whole league or to an individual team owner. This can be useful during a draft for facilitating trade conversations. If you want to move up or down, trading picks, you can try to talk to an owner directly from here. Just click the people icon and then go down and select whichever team owner it is you want to send your message to. You can also use Discord, which is where our league is, and try to work out a draft day trade that way as well. The next icon are these 3 little people. Clicking on this brings up all team rosters. So this is useful if you're trying to gauge which player a team may pick with their next selection, and to figure out if you may need to move up or down in the draft to get the player you're looking for. You can look through each roster, see what their team needs are, and kind of take an educated guess at which position that player might target when they're on the clock. The filter menu on the top works similar to the one that we just looked at. It allows you to reduce the roster menu to just one team if there's a specific team you want to look at. So that's 2 ways to kind of see rosters in the league during the draft. The third icon, with the numbers 1 through 3 listed, is the draft list menu. This allows you to pre-select and rank rookie players prior to the draft. So for example, if you wanted to put Trevor Lawrence ahead of Justin Fields or whatever, you could list them here in your draft list. Be warned though, when you're on the clock, My Fantasy League will automatically select whichever player is the next highest on your rankings. So only use this draft list if you don't want to manually select a player on your own. If you do want to have MFL automatically select for you, rank your players here by clicking Add Player. Make sure the filter is set to rookies only, so you can see mine says showing rookies only, but if yours isn't, click filter, and then just go down and make sure rookies only is selected. And then click on the player that you want to add to your list. So for example, if I wanted to add Trevor Lawrence, I'd click on him, brings up his player page, and then I would click select player, and it adds them to the list as number 1. Okay. You can add additional players if you want to by clicking the plus button and then selecting the next player. Now you'll notice that Trevor Lawrence I added first, but they're listed down here on second. So this is one thing to keep an eye on. If you want Trevor Lawrence to be ahead of Harris, you're going to have to click the pencil icon, then the arrows to move him up. You can also delete play and then click save, and you'll see it'll switch it. Or not. There we go. Yep, and so there you go. You just had to click the pencil again. So then once you're done, you're just going to click save. If you want to delete them, same thing, click the pencil, and then delete the players. Okay. So make sure that you have this in here if you think you're not going to be available for the draft. Try to speed it up. It's a quick way of kind of ranking the players according to your priority and how you value them. So, make sure to do that if you think it'll be useful for you. If you'd rather manually pick when you're on the clock, I recommend leaving this blank. The final button in the 4 buttons here on the 3rd row is going to open up your draft picks. So this is a fantastic menu for quickly seeing what draft picks you have in the draft and which ones you might have coming up. This gets updated as you're in the draft and as you make draft pick trades. Now, if you haven't used the draft list to auto-select your rookie draft picks, you'll be manually making your selections when you're on the clock by tapping Select Player. Clicking this opens up the pool of available players. During the rookie draft, you'll only be able to select rookies, so make sure the filter is set to show rookies only. Again, mine says showing rookies only. If yours doesn't, click filter, and then go down and check off rookies only. When you're on the clock, you're going to look at the player list, pick the player that you want to pick, and then you're just going to click Select Player, and that will draft the player to your team. We're not going to do it right now because we're not in the draft, so it won't work, but that's one way to do it, and it's an easy way to do it. I think it's the way that most of you probably will. So again, it doesn't work right now because we're pre-draft, but during it, your selection should go through, and an email will go out to all team owners letting everybody in the league know which player you selected with your draft pick when you're on the clock. The View All Picks menu shows you all draft picks in the league, including ones made and ones yet to come. So this is a great way of getting a quick overview of the entire draft, who has what picks, who's coming up, who you might want to jump ahead of, who's been taken. This will update as the draft goes on and as picks are made. It'll fill in what each player selected, which player each person picked, and it'll show you who the current person on the clock is. So this is very helpful during the draft. I use it a lot when I'm trying to figure out who's been picked, whether I want to move up, whether I want to move down, which players I might be able to get where, and which teams might make good trade partners. So that's just the draft results tab. Finally, the draft summary button menu here shows you all franchises in the league and how many players at each position that team has drafted, as well as the total number of players at each position that are drafted. The team on the clock is highlighted in green. It also shows how many picks until you're on the clock and how many draft picks you have left right under draft summary. So that's it. That's the draft menu option. It's very useful during the draft. I recommend it highly. I think it'll make your rookie draft a lot easier. And if you have any questions, please just let me know. Thank you.